match. Let's see. It's an amazing match between Iran, Parham, Maghsoodloo and like Gukesh D. So let's see the game. So you can see both of the accuracy are very high, 95% almost, like e4, e5. Gukesh like was black and Parham started with the game with e4. Knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5. So it's well known theory. White is intended to long castle, sorry, short castle. Knight f6 attacking this pawn, and now to protect like by d3. Now Gukesh play most active move bishop c5. There is other ways to develop the bishop b7 is also possible, but yeah, this is the most active move. Bishop takes. Now just try to reading the pawn structure. Takes. Now castle. Now if you carefully see, this pawn is kind of hanging actually. So that's the reason he play like for example 97. If he play for example castle, then just simply this knight b5 is there. And also one of the important thing is bishop g4 is also an interesting variation. For example, if you play h3, I think h5. Yeah, h5 is also one of the interesting ideas. Basically, you cannot take. If you takes, then actually g3 is coming. So you can see this monster bishop is just looking. So it's almost lost. So you cannot play, and the position is equal. Let's see like how the game continue. So after takes castle knight d7, and he play knight d2, developing the knight. Now castle. Now again a4, very common idea. The idea is very simple. Trying to gain some space actually one of the important point. And also in future, for example, maybe he can go for knight c4. Maybe b5 is just kind of stopping. Like okay, so rook e8. Now just simply supporting this pawn. And in future, one of the plan would be, for example, right now it's not possible. Maybe knight g6, knight f8, create a square for the knight. Knight c4. Now I play a5 again, very important, because it's interesting because one of the plan is that of the black is bishop f8 and knight e5. Okay, so it's a typical plan. So like the thing is that again, if you don't do like a5, then b4 is coming. Now bishop e3, bishop b4. So basically is simply trying to exchange. Bishop d2. Now you play b6. So now if you take, it's fine. Like for example, takes. Now this file is open. So it is just fine actually. So maybe you can play c5, knight b8, knight c6, knight d4. All the threats are coming actually. Okay. So he play h3. That's the reason he's not taking. Now he just Gukesh take. Knight takes. Again, amazing move. Very, very important because it's kind of preparing for d4 moves. D4 plan. That's the main idea. Now you play knight f8, queen h5, trying to attack this thing. Now Gukesh responds with queen f6, king h2 actually. Now I think this move is preparing for f3 and like this one actually. So now we play g6, queen h6, queen g7. Gukesh trying to exchange. Queen h4 was played by Parham, and now he's just simply trying to exchange. You can see because he has some chances to attack the Gukesh king. That is the one of the reason. He played knight e6. Now f3. The plan is very simple. Now Gukesh play knight c5. So it is small inaccuracy with Gukesh. Maybe Gukesh will play knight d4 and like for example c3. Knight e6 again, like then f4, like for example. Now the thing is that okay, main idea is that g5 is coming. Now if you take knight into g5 and maybe f6 pawn could be protected, like knight f3, f6, g4. Yeah, still slightly better for white actually. Okay, but he play like knight c5, knight e3 was played. So basically, he's preparing for f4, f5. Now f5 takes rook e1. Again, rook e1 is like this pawn looks very weak actually in future. Bishop e6, b3, just simply protecting this pawn. And now rook f8, knight g4 trying to attack this pawn. You see, Parham play this match amazingly well. Queen g5 trying to put more and more pressure on that pawn. That's the quality of the Grandmaster. They always try to work on small plannings, and this is the amazing difference. They don't like. They always try to put pressure on something. Bishop f5 again. They just simply stop like this thing. And now queen e3 again. Again, you see, he again make a plan to attack this pawn. So he did not like give up the plan. That's one of the important qualities. Bishop takes, and now knight e6. Knight f3 and knight f3, for example, knight into e5 is threatening. Now again, c3 is small inaccuracy because simply it's not supporting this pawn. That's the main thing. Because like it's fine actually, just simply supporting this thing. That is more powerful actually. C3 is just, you see, Gukesh will take the advantage. Gukesh suddenly noticed that the b3 pawn could be attacked. That is the reason Gukesh play 92. Now you see, his idea is very simple. Queen f7 and this thing. Now Gukesh play amazing. Queen f7. Knight takes because the knight is hanging, so you cannot take. Queen into b3. f4. Again, try to do something like f5. Now he take that. I was also feeling that I should take actually, but queen f4 was the engine was saying, but practically pawn takes makes a lot of sense. Now pawn takes again. I think that one of the things that he can do is that queen into d4 because simply queen is getting exchange maybe, but yeah, did not exchange. He played queen into f4, f5, knight f7. Now the thing is that again, if you try something like this thing, then h into g6 again, like because the knight cannot take. So for example, I play queen e4, but it's almost lost because knight into e5. The main thing is that like I cannot take. If I simply take, this is hanging actually. So like if I take try to, for example, key into f8 is there, and the main thing is that now you cannot take. If you take already, black has a lot of pass pawn, so it's almost lost actually. So after pawn takes like 3d4 and this thing f4, pawn takes, now f5, now queen b5. Again, trying to best plan is very simple. I wanted to put like push this pawn, and now I play queen f4 and queen d5. Knight to f7, queen f4. The plan is very simple. I just wanted to take the knight. Okay, so guys, please let me know if I am telling like the analysis very faster. Okay, so I will try to like be a little bit slower. And rook e5, very good move actually. So basically, if you take, now the thing is that again this pawn will double, and also preparing for to double this thing actually. a5, queen e3, before now rook f4. You see what is his plan? His plan is very simple. Try to triple down and like try to put pressure actually on opponent's camp. Now queen d5, queen a1 again. So queen a1 is kind of small inaccuracy, but okay, just simply trying to stop this thing actually. Rook takes, and now a3, small inaccuracy by Gukesh. Maybe he can play another move actually. But okay, it's fine. Like, and after that, you see actually a lot of good move by Parham. Now he play in this position e6, a2, e7. Now you see amazing, brilliant move actually by Parham. Rook e6, such a beautiful move. And after this, the position is almost lost and drawn. Okay, so I hope that you enjoy this match. Thanks for watching.